still seems to be this sense of resiliency, and you're able to come back and get these nice 2 wins here. What's that say about the mindset of the locker room right now?
Well, I think that anytime we're fourth in the league in goals for, so scoring goals has not really been a problem for the most part all season long. So when you have confidence that you're going to be able to score goals, I think it's the resilience is there, knowing that if you play the right way and do the right things offensively, you're going to get your opportunities and get your goals. Now, that's not going to be every night because you'd love to get that first goal, and I think for a while there we were leading the league in first goals of the game, but it's not ideal, and you certainly don't like to see it happen. But I thought that once we got that first one, we started getting rolling offensively tonight, and had a number of great looks from all 4 lines, which was nice to see.
Thoughts on Milner's performance tonight?
Again, much like Springfield, he gives us a chance. I certainly like to see a little bit better rebound control, and that's something I'm sure Scott Murray will continue to work with him. But he made some key saves, and that's what you need. You make key saves, and then gives your chance a team to either tie it, maybe get that lead. And you've seen that big save he made the early second. That's a game changer. He makes that save, and the next thing you know, I look up and 15 minutes later, it's 5-2. Those are the type of saves you need. It's not so much how many goals you're giving up. You don't want to give up a ton of goals, but at the end of the day, you want key saves at important times throughout the hockey game, and I think that's what he did again tonight.
You talked on Thursday about Ryan slotting into where Walker was with minutes and all that. Him getting a big goal tonight, get that game winner. What's that mean for now him?
Well, I think confidence-wise, it'll be good for him. And, I talked to him once we came off the break, once we knew that Walker broke his hand. I just felt that, it's been a tough year for him. He's had a couple injuries, and just with our forward depth, it's not easy to keep everybody happy. But I think with how Walker plays, I don't know if he'll give us the same kind of offensive output that Walker might, but he has scored 18 to 20 goals in this league a few years back. So, but I do like his energy. I like his tenacity on the forecheck. I think he'll be a guy that can help the penalty kill. And tonight, I think he's seen some confidence building. And I thought he was certainly a player from the bench, coming to me almost every shift he was out there. So, I think he's going to be an important part here because we won't have Walker to middle of March.
Gaisley and Barber have been skating. What is your projection for their return to the lineup?
Well, I think Barber, he was cleared for contact, which he did on Thursday. Unfortunately, with the 3-3, it's pretty hard to practice. So I think he's going to be eligible to play next weekend. So we'll definitely see him in the lineup. Whether it's the Wilkes-Barre, I don't know if you'll see him at 3-3, after missing 3.5 months of hockey. But providing there's no setbacks here this week, he'll be back. Gaisley's a little bit behind him. The original diagnosis was he would be back the same time as Barb's, but I would think maybe March 1st, end of February. It's coming along, but just a little bit slower. So he is skating in a non-contact jersey, but it's just not quite right yet here. So I'm thinking he'll miss probably the month of February.
Stan, 5 points in 2 games this week. What have you seen out of his game?
Well, I think he's gaining confidence offensively. He seems to found a little bit of chemistry with Malone and Carey. I've used that line in pockets here the last few weeks. They're just trying to find some chemistry, and love to stick with the same lines. And I thought they were real strong last week against Hartford on the road. They were our best line that night. Then they were okay the next 2 nights there. I had to do some configuring on against Springfield there because we had a little bit of a slow start there. But I thought they came back here and had a great night. They were our best line last night, and arguably our best line again tonight. So nice to see, because when Stan gets inside the dots and gets to those traffic areas and wins his one-on-one battles, he's a very effective player because he's got such a release, and he can score goals and he can make plays. When he decides to stay on the perimeter and not get involved, that's when he doesn't get his opportunities. But we've talked a lot and showed a lot of video to him individually with what he needs to do to be effective. And he's just like 2 years ago. He buys into that. He needs a little bit of coaxing sometimes to play the right way in terms of what he needs to do to get his points. And he's getting rewarded right now.
Normally, when you guys have a back-to-back on a Saturday, Sunday here, get an extra 3 hours. You're losing that 3 hours, and you're playing the same team again. What's the mindset now going into tomorrow?
Well, for us, the mindset is, we'd rather not play the game tomorrow. But, there's only 2 games in the league, and unfortunately we're playing. But it is a game where if you can win, that's a game in hand for the other teams are going to gain, whether it's Bridgeport. And so you can't take it lightly. We've got 4 points. Love to get 5 or 6 here. And, it's very difficult to win a back-to-back when you're playing the same team. But I don't think the 3 hours is going to be a difference. We'd rather play at 2 or 3 o'clock anyway, because then you only bring the guys in one time. As it is with the 5 o'clock starts, we bring them in the morning, we do some video, they go for lunch, and then they come back to the rink, where now they can get up, have their breakfast, and then just show up and play the game. So I don't think that's going to be a big, the 3 hours is not going to be I think we'd rather do it that way anyway. Good? Okay, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.